Ice cream lovers, welcome to this session of Scoop School. Nice to have you here. Steve Christensen's my name. I am the self-appointed headmaster of Scoop School. And look, while we're giving credit where credit's due, do want to thank this episode's sponsor, which is Loran, makers of Flavor Fountain, bakery emulsions, the whole box and dice. Extracts are incredible, regardless of whether you're putting it in a soft serve machine, a custom machine, or your premium ice cream. Loran basically has the whole box and dice. Their link is down below, loranoils.com. I tip my hat to everyone at Loran for your episode sponsorship. Okay, let's talk a little bit about dipping cabinet management. I have in front of me our 8-bucket master-built dipping cabinet. We love it. Let's talk a little bit about defrosting, manual defrosting, and perhaps a cool tool. If I could bring that back. We won't do the jingle. You can look for other cool tools. Madeline asked him if we want to do the jingle, and I said, you know what? I don't have the strength to do the jingle. Okay, we'll do the jingle. Cool tools, cool tools. Okay, I just mouthed most of that because I actually can't remember the words of the jingle. Let's talk about manual defrosting. You can set your dipping cabinet on an auto defrost. I would not recommend it. Again, be driven by what your dipping cabinet manufacturer suggests. But let me tell you, the fluctuation of that temperature every day, every night for multiple days is going to warm, freeze, warm, freeze, warm, freeze your ice cream. And you don't want to do that. You want to kind of set it and forget it. But what that might mean is that you may have to do a manual defrost once a week. At the facility here, we'll do a big unplugged manual defrost once a week. And how we do that, generally speaking, is we will put a bunch of towels down. We've got some towels from Savers or Goodwill or anywhere. Anyway, we'll put them down first, unplug on a Sunday night, so that Monday morning you're going to get a lot of condensation and so forth and liquid in here. The towels will pick up most of it, but if you're in a very humid environment, you've got a lot of water, I've got a cool tool for you that you just might be pretty excited about. I know I'm pretty excited about it. I'm a Ryobi guy. Now you can put in the comments how Milwaukee is better and DeWalt and all that stuff, and I'm just a home handyman because I love Ryobi. I do love me some Ryobi. Anyway, we featured this in a Scoop School community session when we were talking about maintenance that you can do. This is a 1-gallon wet-dry vac. It's great for cleaning out condenser coils, getting into those hard-to-reach spaces, and what I love about it is that I like to go just around the corners and over the base of the cabinet when the towels don't pick it up. So I'm going to drop it down here. I'm going to throw, I'll tell you what, Madeline, I'm going to make a little bit of noise with this. Why don't we put some nice music over the top? Something like Thank you, Ryobi. You may want to take the towel and just take the last little portion of it, but if you've got a lot of water in there, which if you're in an area that has high humidity, then you will have a lot of water in there, and I think this is a really good tool to have around the store, both for maintenance on your condenser coils, as well as in those hard-to-reach places in your dipping cabinet. Again, we've spoken a little bit about dehumidifiers, and if you're in a humid environment, a dehumidifier will actually stop condensation. Look, I shouldn't say stop. It'll lessen condensation on the front glass, as well as in the cabinet. It'll kind of limit that icing up. Really, you need to have a good management plan for your dipping cabinet. Next video, we're going to talk a little bit about placement in the dipping cabinet. We've spoken about that before. It's a good timely reminder to do it again. Anyway, I recommend it. Ryobi 1-gallon wet dry vac or something similar. You'll have a multitude of uses around it, but you do need to make sure you get all of that moisture out of the cabinet before you turn it back on Monday morning. Should only take a couple of hours for it to actually cool back down so you can bring your product back out and you're ready to roll. Thanks for joining us. And also thanks for the good folks at Loran. Again, their link is down below. I'm interested in how you clean your dipping cabinet. Do you do it once a week or twice a week? Do you use your anti-defrost or defrost cycle? Do you not? Leave a comment down below. If you have any other questions about dipping cabinets, again, we're happy to help where we can. Keep on scooping, folks. See you in the next one.